Hi, this is Delphine. I actually made a really cool sound while ago and I figured out why not share it with you guys. So, this is what it sounds like. Yeah, I fucking love it. Let's just start without any effects. I'll just go in here, turn everything off, even the filter and sub, the noise. The noise doesn't have to be there really. And this is what I started with. These wavetables, I don't know where I got them from. I don't think these are the stock Serum wavetables. So if you want them, I might actually find them for you. So just hit me up and I'll send it to you. But let's just start with the oscillator A. So this is what it sounds like on its own. Kind of boring. I'm using the LFO 1 to modulate the curse pitch, and it's just a little bit, it creates a little bit of transient at the beginning of the sound to be more prominent in the mix after the kick hits. It doesn't probably have to be there in your track, but it's just what I chose to do. I turned the random all the way down because if it's up, it changes the sound every time the note hits. So I don't want that. I want the sound to be all the same. I want the sound to be the same all the way throughout the track. And the next thing I'm doing here is using the voicing here, and I turned on the mono and always. And what this is doing is basically, you can see here, I'm using two notes and those two notes overlap. So when it's not on, it's just, it would sound like shit. But when I turn this on, the legato, of course, has to be turned on as well. It creates a slide note. So it's sliding up a little bit to it just fitted with my track. The always, what the always is doing is basically, if the always is not on, the slide note will be only when there are two notes overlapping here. But when I turn the always on, it's gonna make like a slide note even at the beginning of this note. So if that's what you want to do, you can do it. The portamento here is just dictating how long it takes for the note to slide. Pretty simple. Next thing I turned on was the oscillator B, of course, and I'm modulating the oscillator A with the oscillator B using the FM, and it's on 35%. It creates this sound. Now it's starting to sound pretty cool, but it's just not juicy enough. So what I did here was I also turned the random knob all the way down. The level I turned all the way down as well, because I don't want to hear the oscillator B. I just want the oscillator to modulate the other one. And with the LFO number 2, I'm modulating both of the wavetables. Just like scrolling through the wavetable to create some interesting movement. You can hear how it's like bending. That's what it's doing, you know? Is there anything else? I don't think so. So we can move to the filter. I use the Flanger HL6 Plus. It just sounded pretty cool. And I'm modulating the cutoff with the LFO2 as well. It's on 19, and you know, you know what it's doing. It's just oscillating a little bit. Yeah, this is so gritty. I love it. The drive is all the way up. You know, it just makes it louder. The resonance is turned all the way down. The HL is on 41%. Is it HL? Yeah, I think it is. The Serum font is so fucking bad. I can't really read it from here. Doesn't matter. I don't mess with the pan, and the mix is all the way up. Okay, I think we covered everything in here. You can add a noise if you want to. I don't really think that makes any difference. And I actually added up the sub. Right now you can tell it doesn't really sound good. It was the last thing that I added because it just fits better with the mix of with like the theme of the whole song. It just suits the other bass better. So I'll just turn it off for now. Let's move on to the effects. So I started with the distortion, and I'm using the tube distortion, and it's not much. It's just on like 30%, and the mix is all the way up. It doesn't really do much, but you know, I'll just leave it there. The compressor, it's just an OTT. I turned on the multiband, and I put the threshold a little bit down. You know, it just makes it fat. Next up we have chorus, and this is an interesting one. You can copy the settings here if you want to. I don't think I've actually messed with them, but I'm not sure. And the mix is actually really cool to automate. I just figured it out like before making this video. You know, you could automate that if you want to, but I'll just leave it at 30, I think. It just creates a little bit of stereo width. We can move to the flanger. I'm not really using it that much. The mix is on 50-something%, doesn't matter. And, you know, I don't think I've actually changed anything in these sounds. It just creates a little bit of background movement. It probably doesn't have to be there. You know, you can hear something is moving in there. I'll just leave it there like that. Next up we have phaser. And again, just a little bit of it. This one is like really subtle. If I turn this all the way up, you can hear what it's doing, but I don't want this sound. I just want it in the background. Yeah. Just makes it a little bit fuller. Next up we have filter. I'm using the notch 24. It's basically a notch filter that's just like moving around. It creates some interesting movement. This is like a really common stuff in neuro basses. It's a really good way to make the bass move. And I'm modulating it with the LFO number 3. It's the same as the LFO number 2. So I don't know why I linked it to another one, but doesn't matter. You can see it's on 35 and the cutoff is on 375. You can copy the settings here. Easy. Next up we have the EQ. I think that's the last thing I'll cover. We can add these, but I'm not using them in this track. I'm just basically cutting. I'm not cutting anything. I'm just like lowering the volume of the highs and the lows. Oh, not the low. What the fuck? I'm just basically turning down the highs and the mids a little bit. That's all. Okay, that's it. I think I covered the serum part. And we can move on to the post-processing. So let me turn on the... Here you are. And I'll start with the patcher. You can see I'm automating the EQ, and what it is basically just a band pass. I'm automating this knob. Pretty easy. And the other EQ is just a low pass. So I'm just keeping the low frequencies, because if I like if I disconnect the lower one and I just keep this one, you know, it still sounds pretty cool, but I want to keep the low end, so I just split it up like that, make the band pass do its thing, and then I'll just connect the low end as well, so it's nice and thick. Okay. Now, this is what probably creates the character of the sound, is the distortion. I'm using the plugin Isotope Thresh 2. It's phenomenal plugin. You should definitely get this. I'm using it all the time on my basses. It's just so cool. You know, you can create so many interesting sounds with it. What this plugin is doing is basically you can split the sound in 3 bands, maybe even more. No, just 3, and you can distort each part of the sound separately. So what I'm distorting here is the mids and the highs, and I'm using the elastic thresh preset on both. You can copy the settings if you want to. You can see I've messed with these knobs a little bit, and it sounds like this. Yeah, now it's just gritty and hard. Fuck yeah. You can see it's clipping. Why not? Next up, we have the second Thresh 2. And what I did here is really interesting. I'm not using the distortion at all. I'm just using the convolve section here. And this is a trick I learned from a YouTube channel called Venus Theory. You can check it out if you want to. He has really cool videos. And I was just playing around with different presets, and I landed on this one, the Copper Buzz. You can see I've maybe just turned down the mix a little bit, and this is what it sounds like. This creates like this metallic sound. I fucking love it. This is like some type of reverb or something like that. I don't really know how this works, but it just sounds fucking cool. Okay, and we pretty much covered everything. Here I just have the EQ. I'm just getting rid of some, annoying frequencies. And the Maximus, I'm just turning down the mids and the highs a little bit to fit better in my mix. And I think, no, I'm not. I usually just turn the lows like that to be completely mono, but I'm probably doing this after somewhere. Yeah, here. Whoa, fuck that. No, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I'm a fucking noob when it comes to clicking on random shit. So here, and the last thing is reverb. I'm using this plugin because I don't know, someone recommended it to me. and I love it. It's a really good plugin. It sounds really like realistic, but it has some cool presets like this wider synth bass. Sounds cool, right? So this is it. I'm just like cutting off the low end and the high end. I'm just like keeping it between 500 and 1000 hertz. Just a little bit of low end. This is like a 1 second decay. Yeah, 1000 milliseconds, and the dry wet is just a little bit, just like on 9% or something like that. I don't know, I might have messed with these knobs, but I don't think they do that much difference. So just a little bit of reverb to make the sound fuller and sit better in the mix. So this is what it sounds like. Yeah. And that's all. One more trick that I actually figured out before making this video. If you put sync on the oscillator B, you could probably modulate this, and it's fucking cool. Excuse me. So you can actually this is just an idea. You can play with it if you want to. And that's it. Now I'm gonna play the sound in the context of the track, so you just have an idea what it sounds like. You can find the track on my YouTube channel. It's not track, it's just instrumental. Maybe it's a track, I don't know. Depends on you how you want to call it. But I'm actually writing lyrics for this, so you know, something interesting might happen. You have something to look forward to. Enough talking, let's just hear the thing. That shouldn't have been there. Okay, that's it. I hope you like this video. Don't forget to subscribe and like it if you find it useful. If you want those wavetables that I talked about, you can just hit me up and I'll find them for you. And that's it. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.